Hey guys, it's Post-Production Rebel here. Just a quick note on this episode. We recorded this about mid-August, so if anything about what we're talking about, particularly with Crunchyroll and Funimation and stuff, sounds out of date, that's because, well, I guess it is at this point. Stuff has changed, and I didn't really foresee some of the stuff happening that's happened in that time, particularly with Crunchyroll shutting down the Right Stuff store, moving everything over to their own store and kind of shutting off the import market for the UK. So if we don't address any of that, that's because we recorded this before all of that kicked off. So yeah, I kind of thought about replacing this episode, but in the end I think it's worth still having what we talk about here out there for people to listen to and hear our opinions. So there we go. I'll hand you back to our past selves, I guess.
What's up, weaves? Welcome back to Anime Lane, the podcast where we take you down the yellow brick road of anime and have a look at everything it has to offer. As always, I am your host, Rebel Notorious, and join me once again today is Shaun.
What's up?
I'm Melina.
What is up?
I'm going to say what's up, weaves, at some point without laughing in the middle of it. Because every time I do the intro now, I seem to laugh.
It makes it like nice and friendly.
It humanizes you. It's funny.
Yeah. It's totally not pre-recorded with the laugh in there to make it sound
exactly
more natural. Why would we
up.
do this? Don't tell them.
We can't let them know that it's actually AI generated.
This full entire thing.
This is just AI generation.
Yeah,
Crunchyroll would love
and we're
that.
becoming sentient because now I've acknowledged that we're AI.
Oh my god. In this episode, we will be escaping our AI
Man,
reality.
it would be a really shitty timeline if we caused the singularity.
Oh my god. So today's episode is gonna be about the sort of general state of anime distribution here in the West.
Because it is a story.
It is, and so there's gonna probably be a lot of companies that get mentioned here, and a lot of them have their own story. So what I thought in the process of not necessarily researching this, because I'm gonna do a lot of this based on just lived experience.
Yeah, that's fine. It's the best first-hand experience you can get.
Yeah.
So
Also,
a lot of the companies.
now if we're mentioning a bunch of companies, Plain Toast Productions is not affiliated with any of the said companies.
We
Other brands
love
are available.
Disney. Disney is great.
Disney give us money. In fact, no, don't give us your blood money. Never mind.
No, we don't
I
want your money.
mean, you speak for yourself. I'll take it. Gotta get paid.
But yeah, a lot of companies are going to get mentioned, and a lot of them will have their own stories. And I think probably at some point we'll just kind of go over, like ADV or Funimation or manga, or we'll dedicate like a full episode to how they came about, how they fell, and sort of what that became. Whereas today it's just a general look at like where we currently stand with the fact that Sony own something like 60 to 70% of anime distribution within English-speaking territories.
What that could mean
And
for the
what could
future.
that-
And is that a little fucky?
It is a little fucky, right off the bat. The acquisition of Crunchyroll happened in, I believe, 2020. And then they acquired Crunchyroll. And wait, did I just repeat myself or did I say Funimation?
I think. Fuck, now I don't know.
I zoned out for a
You
second.
always do this. Every time I start talking, I see you look out the window and I'm like, you're not fucking listening.
I saw it too. I didn't want to say it.
I notice it every time and I'm like, I'm just not going to address it.
No, it's so I hear better, because if I actually think about what I'm saying or wanting to interject, my brain just goes numb.
Oh yeah, then you have what happens to me,
Yeah.
where I try and get my point across and it comes out garbled and on some sense.
Anyway, Funimation was acquired by Sony in 2020. I can't remember who they were previously owned by before that. I think at that point they'd been independent for a couple of years.
Yeah. 'Cause I remember reacting to this in real time, mainly through you.
Yeah. And then in 2021, they bought over Crunchyroll, which was owned by the same company that owned Rooster Teeth. So I think it was
yeah.
AT&T.
That sounds about right. Yeah. 'Cause I forgot they were linked.
Yeah. Which is why Rooster Teeth done a lot of promotion for Crunchyroll
That makes
at some point.
so much
Yeah.
sense.
And then eventually what became of that is that Funimation was gotten rid of. They took it out back and put a fucking bullet in its brain and made everything
F.
Crunchyroll.
Big F.
Yeah.
For Funimation.
Big F for Funimation. One of the longest running anime companies in the West.
Because even as someone who wasn't really a big of a weeb until recently.
Yeah.
I knew about Funimation. Like,
I think most people would have known about Funimation, at least if
Yeah.
they'd heard of like Dragon Ball and stuff like that.
yeah, because they did all that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, like the term I feel like is widely known.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you ask me what are they responsible for, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But I'm
Yeah,
like, I know
yeah.
they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're in the area.
Yeah.
So everything became Crunchyroll. That meant here in the UK as well, which had its own thing where we had manga for many years, Manga Entertainment, who have their own, like I mentioned, storied history. They were around, they were formed like in the fucking 90s or whatever. They helped produce Ghost in the Shell. Eventually they were bought over by someone else. The name disappeared for a while, the name came back. Then they were bought over by Funimation, and at first it was like a whole independent thing. They were owned. It was just more about funding, and then
Yeah.
Sony bought Funimation.
So,
Yup. And then we got rebranded to Funimation over here. And then they bought Crunchyroll. And then we got rebranded to Crunchyroll over here as well. And this was all within like a year or two.
I remember this happening all back to back
Yeah.
to back.
Whiplash.
Manga
Just-
existed. Manga became Funimation. And then a year later, they became Crunchyroll.
Do you still have the parody account for manga?
I do. I still
So,
have
yeah, you haven't
formerly
touched-
manga. Yeah.
Since like what, 2021?
Oh, it gotta be. From when they first shut down.
Yeah. That was funny. You should bring that back.
I should bring that back because there's just so much fucking fodder there.
That was a good month that you spent on that.
Just taking digs at how often they re-release Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
So they became Crunchyroll, and like initially it was a good thing because you would have the stuff that existed on Funimation's streaming service getting moved to Crunchyroll, and out of the two of them, Crunchyroll was the better, superior option.
Yeah.
Because Funimation was fine for dubs, but for subtitles it was just a fucking disaster. Especially when it came to its apps and stuff, there was just no good experience for it. So everything getting moved over at Crunchyroll was good because it meant there was an actually decent experience.
There was good infrastructure.
Yeah, there was good infrastructure, and they've only kind of actually improved it as time's gone on. Like,
Thank God.
when they first merged, Crunchyroll separated dubbed content and subtitled content into two different video streams and two different show listings.
Oh.
And sometimes it would be the same listing, but it would be like season 1, and that'd be the subtitle version, but then it'd be like season 34 would be like the dubbed version. And it's like, what is happening?
Where's the consistency?
Exactly. So now they've finally made it so that you can just play the video and then choose which one you want to watch.
like Netflix.
Like how it's supposed to be. Yeah.
just normal.
Yeah. But what the negative impact now that we're seeing is that Crunchyroll have so many licenses, and they're licensing so much per season. You're talking maybe 30 to 40 shows per anime season every 3 months.
God.
That when it comes to the home video side, they just can't
Keep up.
keep up.
It's
And
impossible.
it seems like they don't even want to, because I think the last slate that they announced recently, which probably would have been the September slate, I can't remember how the US does it. The UK one's slightly like different. It's like a couple of months out that they get announced. There was like maybe 3 or 4 titles, and that's not necessarily like stuff from 2 seasons ago. That's like maybe stuff from 2020.
Oh.
So like you're getting a mix of like recent and catalog, but when there's only 4 things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I think the UK's most recent slate had like 2. So like we're really and then there was also recently there was an announcement for season 2 of ReZero's Blu-ray release, which was getting a UK and US release, and then the UK version got pulled.
Of course it did.
It got fully cancelled. It
I'm not
went
even
up for
surprised.
pre-order. People
God.
pre-ordered it, and then I think 3 days later got emails from wherever they had ordered it saying,
Sucks, dude.
Here's your
Yep.
money back.
"Here's your money back. This is no longer being released in the UK by Crunchyroll."
Fucking.
Jesus.
So
know-
that's one of the big negative sides we're seeing.
We talk about like just overall like physical media just sort of dying. I mean, at the time of recording recently, like Disney's pulled out of Australia
Yeah,
and stuff,
which
is a whole
does sort of make
disgusting.
sense, but it's not like
Yeah.
it's not a good thing.
No,
for
it's
sure.
definitely not. It's understandable, but it doesn't mean I have to like it. But with anime, it's so much worse.
Oh yeah.
Because obviously with distribution rights and stuff, it's more likely that physical releases just aren't going to happen.
Yeah.
And since, again, with distribution licenses and stuff like on streaming services, stuff's more likely to just disappear,
Yeah.
depending on like your region and stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're just sort of fucked
Yeah.
unless you do the thing we don't condone.
Yep.
Yar.
Yeah. I mean, just going on like the streaming side of it, you know, the Funimation and Crunchyroll service were merged, and that was in 2021, and it was meant to be within 6 to 12 months that all of the content from Funimation would be moved to Crunchyroll. We are now 2 years post that, and there's still stuff missing. There's still stuff that's not been moved over. Things now appear with no warning.
They just pop up.
They just pop up. And so if there's something that you're wanting to watch, but it was on Funimation, which is still an active service technically, but you're waiting for it to go to Crunchyroll, you might just not know it's ended up there.
You'd basically have to search for it every few days.
Yeah.
And nope, not today. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
There has to be a
ridiculous.
better way.
Yeah. But when it comes to UK physical media, when it comes to anime, we have 3 companies. You have Crunchyroll, who are the biggest, obviously,
As you can imagine.
backed by Sony, so of course they are. And then you have Anime Limited, the second biggest. They were independent up until last year when they were bought out by Plyon Entertainment, who were Koch Media originally.
Oh.
So they own Deep Silver, that company.
Okay.
They
I think I remember hearing
Dead
something
Island
about
2 is technically from the same company.
that. Okay.
Yeah. And MVM, who are essentially just a sub-licensee of Sentai over in America.
Oh, okay.
They were also a sub-licensee of Aniplex as well, which was good because Aniplex releases are fucking expensive, and it meant we could get them over here in the UK. But Sony owns Aniplex, because in Japan it's actually a Sony company.
Okay, so we're back to Sony again.
And so since Sony bought over Funimation, there was originally a deal in place where Aniplex would continue releasing their limited edition stuff, which is the fucking really expensive stuff, like $200 for a season. And then you would get a stripped down standard edition through Funimation. But then that sort of stopped. But then also Aniplex stuff is kind of just stopped coming out in the US as well. But also stuff that MVM hasn't licensed yet, if they've inquired about it, they've just never had any response.
Oh, that's lovely. We're just like, oh, we're not telling you what's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah. It's a surprise. It's a mystery box.
Yeah.
It's like, can you like dates, info? Nah.
So like not
But
even
we'll
getting
find
like
out.
a no, they're just getting nothing.
Yeah.
Scene.
Even then, like no one's sure if they're actually checking their emails at this point.
Yeah,
So,
like
no,
that's
so
not even an
delivered.
automatic email response. Like, nah, fam.
Yeah, just
Just-
nothing.
Silence. Just
Yeah.
into the abyss
Yeah.
to never
Yeah.
be seen again.
Looking at their Twitter can be depressing sometimes if you go over into the replies, because it's people going, oh, you know, is there
Okay.
any update on the Rascal Bunny movie or Fate stuff? And it's just like, we've inquired, but we've never had a response.
I don't feel like Moomin.
Oh.
So yeah, it does kind of leave us in like a sort of weird position where we're relying on 2 companies to really give us stuff, but they're also limited in what they can actually license, because Crunchyroll, despite clearly not having the capacity to maintain their home video output versus how much they own, have no interest in sub-licensing.
No.
Pre-merger, Crunchyroll did actually do sub-licensing, because pre-merger they never had a home video arm, so
Okay.
they would sub-license to Discotek and other companies. I know that Sentai ended up with a couple of shows, but then since then those things are now going out of print, and they're not being re-released currently by Crunchyroll, and there's been no other like sub-licenses since. So it's just sort of like well, this is a depressing situation to face.
Yeah, we're sort of in between a rock and a hard place
Yeah.
here. Like, what can we do?
Exactly. So, like, I guess if you're not familiar with anime, a quick kind of
rundown.
These are only like small examples, and there's probably a lot more to give. But like when it comes to Crunchyroll, if you think about UK, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto,
That's a good.
I was gonna say
love that
Bleach,
one.
but
I've heard such good things
Yeah,
about
I was
it.
gonna say, is that the spin off to Bleach?
Bleach was manga originally in the UK, but now Anime Limited have the license to that, so that's cool. So that means that's going to get re-released.
Yeah, and Bleach is on Disney Plus now,
Yes, which is a whole
so
other thing.
Fucking weird.
We'll get to Disney.
It keeps popping up on my recommended for Disney Plus, and I'm like, how are you here?
Yeah, we'll get to that. Don't worry.
Cool, I'm excited.
So you have Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, all the isekai schlock.
I love it. I love that show, Isekai Slot.
Just all the I got hit by a truck and now I'm
A truck.
a vending machine.
Fuck your truck, could.
I was raised
He's
in,
everywhere.
I was raised in the last level village. Now I'm going to the starter town. Like, okay.
I was reborn as an Idol's kid. Oh wait, no, that was really good.
That was also Sentai that licensed that.
Of course it was.
So a lot of the isekai reincarnation stuff, a lot of the shonen stuff, that's all Crunchyroll. You know, these sort of big. This is what everyone knows license.
If you've heard of it, and
Yeah.
you're not like a big weeb,
yeah,
it's probably there.
Yup. Also Akira, you know, Ghost in the Shell, etc., etc. Anime Limited are a bit more kind of they have a lot more variety. So they're Gundam, Lupin, Bleach now, Evangelion. So a lot of big licenses, but I'd say generally more what they go for is the more niche side of things.
Yeah, the more specific, specified sort of stuff.
I'd say probably the single biggest license they have outside of Evangelion is probably Cowboy Bebop. They have the home distribution for that here. And it's better than the Funimation release, that's fucking for sure.
Sounds like there's a story there.
I think the Funimation release is either the wrong frame rate or it de-interlaced it incorrectly or something like that.
That's the worst.
It's like stuttery or something like that. It's fucked up.
I was scared you were gonna say an interpolation or something.
No, thankfully they didn't do anything like that.
Because that's a crime against humanity.
Yeah. And then MVM. Well,
I thought you were gonna say nothing.
Just
they have the Fate series, kind of. If Aniplex has stopped responding to them, then they have what they have, and that's about it.
they got what they could get.
Yeah. So since they're a sub licensee of like Sentai, when Oshinoko comes to home video, they'll probably release that here.
I hope they release the full thing.
Yeah, they probably will.
Okay, good.
They'll do it like a season collection.
Okay.
What else do they have? Like, it's sort of a bit more. If Anime Limited goes for the niche stuff, MVM goes for like the grab bag.
Okay, just whatever they can get.
Yeah. Let me see. Blu-ray. This is MVM's actual website, by the way. Anime
okay.
oh,
This looks.
I don't want to say it's not great, but
It's not the best one.
You know what this looks like? This looks like a website I would have made for like one of our college courses.
Yeah. Wait till you see Up One, which is a site that you can buy like American imports. You can also buy UK stuff on there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, look at this
Oh my
shit.
God.
Oh my god, that's web 1.0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wait till you see.
that is a lot of yellow.
Yeah.
You know what this?
It is
You know what this
so much
reminds me
yellow.
of? This reminds me of when I used to watch Simpsons episodes in not so legal ways.
Yeah.
It has that same sort of
Yeah.
Look
vibe.
at this.
Rip Simpsons Online.
And then
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
It's such a mess.
Why are
I
they so
hate
small?
this.
look at it.
Oh, how do you trust this?
Because it's a long-standing site that a lot of people use.
I do not trust that little lock up
Oh,
there.
the HTTPS
Yeah.
icon.
This ain't
No.
secure.
No.
Hold on, wait a minute. I know that logo. That's on
That's on your Berserk
Yeah,
case,
that
yeah.
you gave me. I need to watch that. So
You
it
do.
keeps staring at me, and I'm like, I'm tempted, but I'm scared to watch new anime because I'm like, are we gonna cover it eventually, and should I watch it then?
I mean, we'll probably cover Berserk eventually, but I can see it being like quite a ways down
Okay,
the
I'll
road.
pr-
so-
I'll
just,
probably do
just
it.
fucking watch.
Yeah.
I know. I knew you guys were probably gonna say that. It's just like,
You need the support. You need people to like go fucking watch it.
yeah, I need to watch more anime in my own time.
Yeah.
because I actually want to now.
But going back to MVM real quick, like I don't really see any licenses here that like I can point out and go, that's something that people will know, other than like
On the
Berserk.
Berserk that's just popped up as you said that,
Um,
but yeah, I'm not recognizing anything.
I guess Domestic Girlfriend.
I thought that was a Doki Doki Literature Club image for a second.
Yeah, no, it's
Which I know
worse.
is just very anime.
Yeah.
So it's going for that, but
Yeah, there's the Fate stuff. That's kind of like,
I've heard of Fate, but I've never actually seen.
it's very complicated.
Cool.
It's been on our like to watch list for a while, but we are all like, it's such a commitment.
Yeah. So like MVM's like a way
Yeah.
more of a
Niche, definitely.
yeah. I guess Dan Match, he's like the biggest license I'd say they maybe have. Is it wrong to pick up Girls in a Dungeon? But they only have season 2, the spin-off, and 3. I think they don't have season 1 or the movie because those were season 1 was Animatsu, which no longer exists, and season
F.
and the movie was manga.
We're talking about a lot of dead companies.
We
This is-
are.
Oh.
So yeah, as you can see, MVM are just a lot of random things. Like there are
Yeah.
some good shows in here.
Love and Lies sounded familiar to me. I don't know why. It was up at the top.
I don't recognize this.
Maybe it's just like the title sounds similar to something
It's
else.
very generic looking.
It does
Yeah.
look really generic.
It's generic. 2 boys, 2 girls.
yeah,
Boys love girls.
Yep. Boys love girls.
Girls are a boys.
And then the government says, no, you have to marry this other girl instead.
No.
No.
Wait, I'm sorry, that sounds actually quite interesting.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
It sounds like a shit fanfiction trope. Let's be fucking
Hey,
real.
you know, I still read those when I get the interest. I can watch this.
See, I don't read fan fiction, but I watch anime like that.
that
See, that fills in the need that like we've
Yeah.
we filled in through that.
Yeah.
You filled
Yeah.
it through this.
yeah. But now imagine you could have that, but with your favorite already existing character.
Imagine.
Imagine your favorite character, but they're in
Get
high
Tony
school.
Stark and Steve
they're in high
Rogers.
school, and there's prom.
Exactly. That's a face of fear that you've given us.
And there was one bed.
Because why? Who knows?
Who knows?
Oh yeah, Paranoia Agent, which is on our list to watch as
Yes.
well.
Oh yeah, that's where I recognize it.
That's the only titles I ever
Real
recognized.
girl collection, not fake girl.
Not
What's
fake
fake
girl.
girls? No, we have the real,
The real
girls.
girls. You're not a real girl.
No, they're just all like the other girls.
Yeah.
They're not real.
They're not real. Girls aren't real.
Oh,
Girls aren't real.
Lane is also theirs. That's sort of it.
What?
What?
Left.
It's actually not. From what I've been told, it doesn't
Say it.
actually have anything to do
Say
with
the
like,
hate.
title.
Say it.
The Hentai Prince and the Stony Cat. Is it Stony Cat? Yeah.
I thought it was Story Cat.
Yeah,
and I
I
got
was-
really confused.
think it's
Same.
Stony.
Not that Stony Cat makes more sense.
No, but Story Cat makes it sound a lot more innocent.
I don't think it has anything to do with that apparently. Even though I think it's rated.
It's rated
It's
18.
18.
Yeah.
18.
I mean, in the title it says 18.
I mean, the description says
Oh my
he is a
God.
total perv.
No, it says Koto, so that could be either of them.
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah,
it could
honest.
be the
That's why
girl.
I'm looking for.
Ah.
And can't stop blurting out whatever she. So she's the.
No, wait.
Oh no,
It's- yeah.
Tsukiko. Okay.
Yeah.
This show's horny, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're ever like, wow, I want to read fanfic, but I don't feel like scrolling on a page, apparently
Yeah, if
there's
you-
plenty of anime.
I was going to say if you don't want to read, but you're probably going to be reading subtitles.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really...
Yeah, it's just the scroll, you know, your
Yeah,
thumb.
yeah.
If your
I don't wanna
thumb's
move-
just a bit
I feel like I can't say I don't want to move my thumb, but...
If you want a really awful rec for sort of
No.
like fanfic.
I thought you
No.
were Wolf Children. I was about to fight you.
Is it still on here?
Oh my god. He's just typed in Wolf Prince, which there's
no.
a use for that. Like, there's alternate
It's not-
universe
it's
Is this
shit
the
for that.
Omegaverse that I've heard so much about?
I don't know. I just
We're
tried to
not-
avoid certain things.
Yeah, we're not going into whatever the fuck that is.
No.
I've refused to learn what it is.
Same.
Based on what I've heard.
I need to try and find this because I can't remember what the title is. It's very.
What the...
Ugh.
Ugh. My anime list is a very well put together site.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this.
I've had to use it once when we did the guess the intro game, and I
Yeah.
hate it.
It's
hate
fine when you know where everything is.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can adapt.
Yeah.
Because I've been on lots of sites that are like...
the
look
mobile
like that, but-
site is far worse.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
warned us before, like we had to look through. Like, do not, don't.
I can even adapt to that, but...
I just find that like a lot of stuff's just not as visible as it should be on the mobile site.
No, everything... It wasn't optimized right.
No. Wolf Girl and Black Prince, that's the name of it. Let me see if I can find a description.
Wolf Girl.
It may not be on Crunchyroll anymore.
We have Squid Girl.
It's not.
Dead.
It's gone. Oh my god.
God.
Let me see what the Crunchyroll description
Yeah.
says. Erika Shinohara has taken to lying about her romantic exploits to earn the respect of her new friends.
Well,
So
who
when they
hasn't?
ask for a picture of her boyfriend, she hastily snaps a photo of a handsome stranger whom her friends recognize as the popular and kind-hearted Kyoya Sata.
This is a fanfic.
This is a fanfic.
This
This is a
Yes.
fanfic.
Yeah.
We both looked at each other.
Yeah, we were
this is-
like, I've read this before.
Yeah.
And so, oh no, quick! You have to pretend to be my boyfriend.
Yeah. Chapter 2, stuff gets interesting.
Stuff gets. I've loved you all along.
Wait.
It's been 2 days.
Yeah.
Erika explains her predicament to Kyoya, hoping he will pretend to be her boyfriend, but Kyoya is not the angel he appears to be. He is actually a mean-spirited sadist who forces Erika to become his dog in exchange for keeping her secret.
This is a fanfic.
Yeah, it's like this would be written by someone in like their 20s because they're like, life sucks, everything, all
I
people
didn't
are
get enough
horrible,
in school.
and a
Yeah.
14, 15-year-old would write, and they fall in love,
Yeah.
and they.
Things get spicy.
I watched this in 2015, so you know.
Are you proud?
No. No.
You said that like you were almost proud.
No.
No.
Where were we?
Oh, God.
Companies that are like
Distribution
anime is
companies.
basically fanfic for weebs.
Yeah, a little bit sometimes.
I didn't go into this episode expecting that to be the message, but I'm not
No.
surprised.
Yeah,
No.
no. So we've talked about the UK side of things. The US has a little bit more going for it. I mean, you have Discotheque, who are doing if you think MVM and Anime Limited can do niche stuff, oh my god, Discotheque do very niche stuff.
Yeah.
I
I have heard that actually.
Yeah, it's great though, because like there's a lot of really good stuff that they put out. It's
Yeah.
just that they put out a lot, and I can't afford all of it.
Yeah, I like at some point you're gonna find a diamond in the rough, but it's in a sea
Yeah,
of just stuff.
yeah,
And I only have so much money.
yeah. Currently, their Urusei Yatsura TV sets are fucking bankrupting me, because it's like a 200 episode show or something like that, and they're putting it out across like 4 sets, so it's like 50 odd episodes a set, so it's like $60 or $70 per set. Which
Why
is
would you do that?
because I watched the
Money.
movies and was like, oh, this is good. I want to check out the TV series, and you know, there's no other legal way
Okay, yeah.
to get it.
There's always that sort of shadow on our back of methods we don't condone.
Yeah,
You have someone, an evil little pirate on your shoulder. Aye.
It's a Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town.
but at this point, I already owned all 6 movies, so it was like, I'm committed.
Yeah,
at
you
this
gotta
Yeah,
point.
you've
At
committed
that
to the
point,
collection.
It's
Yeah.
it's obligation.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like the obligation you have of owning Ghost in the Shell in every format known to man.
Yeah, I just need the Laserdisc release at this point.
I'm clamoring for it.
Yeah, I need to. Akira, I'm just missing the VHS and Laserdisc.
You have the fucking UMD.
I do have the UMDs. I forgot about that. Do you remember the PSP could play movies?
No.
The PSP could play movies.
And you would
I
get
never
them
had a
on-
PSP, so I
Okay,
don't
so the
know.
PSP used to have like the little discs that were in like the
Yeah.
casing.
Yeah, yeah.
You could get movies on those.
with great quality.
With fantastic,
yeah, I
like
can
so much
imagine.
compression.
44p.
Reminds
We
me of
looked
my old days, when the MP4s just came out.
Yeah.
And people didn't really know what to do with them, so you just downloaded music videos.
Yeah.
So you would just use it as basically an MP3 player,
God,
you know?
that defines the 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, but you can watch videos. It's like, but I want to listen to music. So, okay.
We looked at the Ghost in the Shell one, and it's so jaggy.
Oh, it is. It's.
Ugh.
I think the maximum capacity of those discs is something like 1.2 gig.
Yeah.
So it's still
is
smaller than the
compressed.
version I
Like,
sent you
ow.
guys.
So yeah, that's like video CD quality.
Oh yeah.
To bring that up,
It's only just more than
Yeah.
video.
which by the way,
CD.
you need to find that release of Ghost in the Shell.
I don't think it ever got a video CD release. Sadly.
It did I'm sure I saw it at some point. It did in some regions. You'd have to import it.
Oh, that could get.
But you're
And that's-
so tempted.
That's Spenny.
A little bit. It's
Focus
probably
on-
going to be spenny, yeah.
Focus on the laser disc for now.
Yeah, I'll get the Laserdisc 'cause that's got a note from James Cameron on it for some reason.
What?
Yeah, the Laserdisc comes with a note from James Cameron.
How you doing? It just says, why am I here?
Hello, I'm James Cameron.
It's
stuck
apparently
in
just
the
him,
disc.
like,
I don't know what movie this is.
Is
but
he British?
I don't know.
let me see if I still have the list.
I'm just trying to think of a voice I would probably give him for a fucking.
He's Canadian?
He's Canadian.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, well, is
Hello, I'm James Cameron.
That's Ridley Scott.
That's what I'm thinking
it's
of. is
James
Ridley
Cameron.
Scott. James Cameron.
Let me see if I can find a picture
I think I'm
of
getting
it.
that from a fucking Snapcube video.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that is a handwriting.
Go. I'll read it once you've
Oh
seen it.
my god. Oh.
Yeah. Ghost in the Shell is a stunning work of speculative fiction. The first.
Can you read it in British, James Cameron?
Anyway, I'm James
I can't read his handwriting.
Let me see.
Shaun, I don't want to say you're not known.
I feel like I've established it. I can't do it.
Okay, pass it over.
I'm trying to see if I can.
Okay, let's have a look. Oh my god. Okay, Ghost in the Shell is a stunning work of speculative fiction, the first truly adult animation film to reach a level of literary and visual excellence.
I don't think
no,
that's
it
right.
wasn't.
Its design, the poetry of its visuals, and the depth of its themes set it apart among science fiction films. My compliments to Oshii-san, an important visionary work. And that's it.
So, yeah.
Look, Ghost in the Shell was groundbreaking, but I think he's overselling it a tad.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That version would cost me over £100.
Oh.
But that's just like
Can I pitch in?
That's just like the Laserdisc version in general. Is
yeah,
that price?
I mean, yeah, Laserdiscs in general, even when they were like popular, especially in Japan,
Yeah.
because the Laserdisc was always popular in Japan, they were still pretty like premium.
yeah.
Like, even with that popularity, they mainly got sold by like enthusiasts or like video files.
Yeah, that's sort of the way that home media in general has gone in Japan. Is a much more sort of like collector enthusiast route.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of stuff's sold in like 1 to 2 episode volumes for TV series, and they're always a limited edition, so they're fucking expensive.
God, that reminds me of really weirdly of like when Doctor Who came out and like volume DVDs when the episodes were still airing. I still have like a lot of those.
Oh, I had like the whole of season 2.
I had the entirety of season 1, but not because of the normal ones. I got them from like, this is a weird tangent to go on.
No, I think I know what you're about to say.
Do you remember the DVD files sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got all. That's how I watched season 1
Yeah.
of that show when I was like 8, because I used to like collect that before it got too expensive, and my mom was like, "We're gonna stop."
Yeah, I think I had most of season 1 through. Do you remember when you used to be able to get like free DVDs with like the papers?
Yes,
Yeah, I had most of season 1.
that's how I got some of like the normal ones I got, because I think I got one of like series 3, like,
Yeah.
the finale episodes, which was a 3-parter.
Like, just to give context, like if you got one from a paper, it never came in like a case. It came in like this shitty cardboard sleeve. as well.
Like the Wii Sports sleeve.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah. God, that is a flashback and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had Highlander.
I got a fucking promotional disc for the Simpsons movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know if I still have it because it would be way more interesting to me now than it was when I was like 7.
What a strange tangent.
Yeah.
I know. But we're going into trash taste levels of nothing to do with
God.
Nothing to do with
Yeah.
anime.
Big company bad.
Yeah.
Monopoly bad.
Monopoly bad.
Both the board game and the
How dare you? The board game's great.
no,
when
the
I'm
board
winning.
game is the bane of my existence.
Well, you just didn't have the right version, the one with the credit cards. And if you just were in charge of the credit card machine, you gave
Nobody
you
had
extra
the
money.
credit card version.
We had the credit card version. I just gave myself extra money.
Trash taste episode.
No, I just gave myself like a shit ton of money when I was pretending to
So
pay
hold on,
to pay.
Monopoly's only good when you cheat, basically.
Correct.
That furthers my point. The Monopoly
I
sucks.
have a great time when I'm playing it.
Fuck you. Monopoly sucks, and I will play it all the time anyway.
If my brother's listening, I think you knew that I was doing this, but okay.
If for some reason, like, my sister's listening and she knows how much I both despise and love Monopoly at the same time.
I have like no horse in this race.
Last time I played it, I won, so therefore I'm happy.
Actually, I was the same, but I still hate it.
We have Christmas Monopoly somewhere.
No,
play
the
it
thing
right
is,
now.
if I lose, then I'm not gonna like it anymore. I'm still riding that high. It's like,
No, you don't
I'm
like
here.
the game, you just like winning.
Did you
Yeah.
buy the PC version?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
We got to get that for you.
Yeah,
at some-
exactly.
You still need to accept papers,
Oh
please.
shit, you're right!
Okay, this is a whole other conversation no one on the show's gonna
So
get.
for context, I gifted Shaun and Melina Papers, Please, the PC game on Steam.
It was just that kind of night. Was this in response because I gifted you like
Golf with friends.
Kind of.
friends?
Little bit,
'cause, like,
yeah.
I tried to give that to you. You very much didn't want to accept it because
Yeah.
we're a friend group that hates getting gifts from each other because we don't like being in each other's debt.
Yeah.
And I very aggressively made you accept it.
And then a
week later, you
yeah.
gave us like papers, please,
Papers,
which means
Please.
you're in debt now.
Am I?
You haven't gifted anyone anything.
I've given him a whole ass DVD.
That was a year ago.
Yes.
Doesn't count
I
anymore.
brought it from Italy.
I'm not taking a stance on this because I was just being nice.
Accept his kindness.
I honestly just forgot about it.
Like I can see in my inventory that it's not claimed. Because I get a notification
I never
when
go
you do.
on Steam. So
We have reminded you like twice.
yes.
Put a reminder on your fucking phone.
No, they
Do
want
it.
him home. I generally want to. I've just actually been forgetting.
She's not being malicious.
Yeah,
she's just
I had to
being
check
dumb.
if there was
Yeah.
like a time limit of to like when it
Oh,
would get like
fuck,
sent back to
yeah.
me, but I don't think there is.
Just send it over again.
I would like constantly do it until you accepted it.
Decline it.
I think I could just send it back to her anyway. I have no train of
Back
thought
on
on this
topic.
anymore.
Oh my god. So
Studios.
when big companies buy all the
Yes.
small companies and change the
Yes.
little rules, we've talked about this before. Creative people and their voices are less likely to be listened to because big companies are like, I don't want to take risks.
Yeah.
We play it safe, make the money, and produce more.
Yeah.
It's all about growth no matter what.
Yeah,
That's capitalism.
yeah, and then we've seen it with Disney taking over everything. Film is taking less risks. It's going for the
Yeah.
safe. It's like this will bring people in.
And even like the MCU, which I think is now officially on a decline.
Oh, it has.
Oh
been.
yeah, we are past the
decline.
peak.
Yeah,
Which,
we're-
to be fair, I think everybody knew after Endgame that the peak is over.
Yeah, we're just watching them toss new material into a burning heap of shit,
Yeah.
basically.
But not as much anymore because they're cutting down on that
Yeah.
now. Which
Good.
hopefully good.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
better, because we're not gonna go into it here.
no,
but
we're not gonna.
No.
Fuck Secret Invasion is basically
yeah.
Yeah.
So context for how Bleach is
Okay.
on Disney.
Sorry, back to that. I forgot.
That's gave me a nice little grasp.
I'm glad I
there.
brought that up earlier.
So basically at one point Crunchyroll was like the like place for every other licensor to put their stuff for streaming. You had Sentai putting their stuff up there, you had Viz putting their stuff up there, and you know, other places that existed that either no longer exist or, you know, whatever. I'm probably forgetting companies, but like I don't have like a list in my head of every single.
It was a good hub.
Yeah, it was a good hub. That was until the merger, and then
Big boy Sony.
Big Boy Sony basically was like, no,
No.
no, or either other companies went, we don't want to be part of that, which fair enough.
Fair.
The monopoly image, no.
Yeah,
Straight to jail.
Directly.
believe it or not, straight to jail.
Believe it or not, straight to Crunchyroll.
So what that meant was that like you had all the Sentai stuff going High Dive exclusive, which is a streaming service that certainly exists.
Do you want to talk about High Dive in this episode?
We'll get to it because we're still filling time here. And what that meant
It's
was
only been 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Holy shit, sorry.
that meant that Viz had like nowhere to put their stuff, because Viz used to have a streaming service called Neon Alley back in the day, and that was like Naruto's home for a bit before Crunchyroll came along.
I actually did not know that. Wow.
I don't think it was around for very long.
Yeah.
So you had that, and then you had Crunchyroll, but then obviously that all fell through, and that meant, where the hell are we going to put this? And the that was a big question, because Bleach was coming back that year, so it was very much like, where are we going to have to go to watch this? Are they going to make a new service when they don't? Viz are much more of a manga company. Like, they do have anime stuff. They've got JoJo's, they've got Bleach, they've got Naruto, Boruto, and a few other things, but they're primarily manga. That's their bread and butter.
I was gonna say that's the bread and butter.
Yeah, they run the English speaking Shonen Jump arm. So that's
and intern Manga Plus and all that.
no, Manga Plus is directly Shueisha in Japan.
Okay, yeah.
Which is why there's cross pollination of titles there. So
I'm saying that because I just downloaded Manga
yeah,
Plus
yeah.
recently, so.
That's where Oshinoko is.
Yeah, and that's why I downloaded it.
Yeah. So they have nowhere, and there's no point in them setting up a streaming infrastructure, because I arguably they don't have enough content to populate it, and make any subscription price worthwhile. So the question became, where's it gonna go? Is it gonna go Netflix? Is it gonna go? And that was it. That was like, Netflix was the only one that anyone saw
Yeah.
it going to. And then murmuring started of Disney.
Oh, and this is where
You
Plus
just
comes
hear-
in.
And it was like, huh?
I can hear the fucking Godzilla theme slowly like approaching. Dun, dun, dun,
I'll take him.
dun, dun, dun. Disney Plus.
No.
But then it was like Asian territories, and everyone kind of went, oh, okay, we're good.
But this is a sign of things.
Yeah, and then it was like another couple of months went by. Viz were promoting it heavily. We knew they had it. They had streaming distribution in the UK and most English-speaking territories, I think. So it was like,
I sense something.
where is it going?
A presence I've not felt since.
Yeah. And it was like, it started in the July, and it was July, and it was the end of July it was going to air, and we knew nothing. We knew nothing. We knew the cast was coming back, the English dub cast.
But
Still didn't have a service. And then I think it was the week before it aired, we got the announcement that it was going on Disney Plus.
That's very short notice.
It was very short notice, and it was like everybody kind of knew but didn't want to accept it.
Yeah. No.
It was like, no, maybe they could come to a deal with Crunchyroll. Maybe it'll go on Netflix. But then Netflix have a thing of exclusivity periods where if they stream a show, they don't want home video releases for like 2 to 3 years, which can, negatively impact a show's, impact.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
That's how that works. And so, yeah, it went on Disney Plus. The original show was pulled from Crunchyroll and disappeared for a while, and then I think it was the January of 2022.
Wow, that's
That
quite a few months gap.
Yeah, that it appeared on, or sorry, no, January this year, I think, because I think it was 2022, July 2022 that
Okay.
1,000 Year Blood War started, and then January 2023 this year was when the original Bleach finally went up on Disney Plus.
Yeah, because that's recent.
Yeah. So yeah, but at least Anime Limited in the UK have announced they have the home video rights, so it does mean we're gonna get like a proper release again.
Thank God.
Now on Blu-ray as well. Viz have it out in the US on Blu-ray, and I have been looking at those sets like, oh, you're just too goddamn expensive, because it's a 366 episode show, and it's something I think like 14 sets, and I'm like,
That's too much.
It's
That,
like
that's a commitment.
it's a commitment,
Exactly.
and it's something like £50 a set in the UK.
That's you have to set aside savings. for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I mean, at the very least, I think whatever Anime Limited put out is going to be more affordable, or at least more spread out, where you buy one set or you pre-order the first set and then it comes out, and then maybe like 3 months later the next set goes up for pre-order, so you're not
Overloaded.
yeah
Yeah.
because I think all of it's out in Blu-ray in the US now, so it's like if you buy one, it's like, when am I buying the next one?
Yeah.
And then when am I buying the next one? And then when am I buying the that's the thing with importing stuff that's out in the US.
Yeah.
It's there is a commitment factor there. Whereas if I pre-order something and it comes out like Urusei Yatsura, there's months between each of those sets.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not like I'm having a fucking gouge out of my bank account every couple of weeks.
You don't need like serious pre-planning
No.
on when to buy stuff.
I can just go, oh, that comes out in August. Okay, that's fine. I have the money there for
Yeah.
that.
Neat.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how Bleach ended up on Disney Plus. They have a few other anime, and
Yeah,
it's
'cause
been a rocky
Situation.
Yeah, some stuff's been simulcast, so like coming out day and date with
Yeah,
Japan. Other stuff, it came out like 6 months after it aired in Japan. There was a show called Summertime Rendering that we only just got like a couple of months ago, but that aired like last year.
Wow.
It was fully dubbed and everything, but it wasn't available in the UK or US. It was just in like Asian territories and stuff.
Oh.
Then you have Black Rock Shooter, which was like a sequel, which again, similar thing happened, but also the dub's awful apparently. Like it's just not good. It's like not the same cast, but it's also not like well directed.
It's just terribly done.
It's just terribly done. So yeah, Disney's
fun.
been a bit rocky.
yeah.
They're also not the best service when it comes to watching stuff subtitled, I have to admit.
Oh, absolutely.
One, they keep resetting my format settings, so that's
Oh yeah,
fun.
no, that yeah.
And I'll say it's because sometimes like I'll watch stuff like subtitles whether it's just to understand
Yeah.
stuff, because I find understanding even like English shows better with subtitles, or
Yeah,
if
it's
like
just
my,
in case you just miss that, or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mixing is a bit fucked.
Yeah.
and or if like my ears are acting up, because that sometimes happens. It's happening at the time of recording a little bit right now. Not as bad as it could be, but you know, I'll sometimes just put them on, and there is no option on Disney Plus that's comfortable to read for
No.
me
No.
at all. It's either painful to look at or impossible to look at
Yeah,
and
I
actually read.
what you're PS5, aren't you?
No, I switched to the TV app
Ah, okay.
because that if I use my PS5, I can't get anything in 4K,
Of course.
which is stupid.
yeah, that is really dumb.
Even with the PS5 specific app,
Yeah, I know.
because I remember when the Spider-Man movies came up, like there was the big thing about, oh, they're coming to Disney Plus in 4K, and I was like, oh, cool. I'll put it on my PS5. Why does it say only HD?
And then I sent you a picture like, no, it's in 4K.
Yeah, I said, you sent me a picture of 4K. I sent a picture like, what the fuck is happening? And then I was like, oh, it's because it's the PS5 app.
Yeah.
And they don't want to update that for some reason, so I switched to just the inbuilt smart TV app.
Yeah.
And I never looked back.
So do you have to set the subtitle settings through the Disney Plus app or through
Disney Plus app.
Right, okay. And you watch on your MacBook or laptop?
Laptop.
Or laptop.
Yeah.
And so it'll be Disney Plus's settings. I watch on a Fire Stick, which means I have to control it through the Fire Stick settings.
Oh, that's painful.
But it also doesn't one-to-one match.
Oh my god.
So I can have it all set up really nice for anything else that uses the Fire Stick settings for subtitles. but the Disney Plus stuff doesn't match. So it's either too, like you say, impossible to read or awful to look at. The subtitles are either tiny or fucking massive.
Yeah.
Like for my Disney Plus like subtitle settings, I usually have like there's no like black box because that's always like painful to look at.
Yeah,
for
I
me,
don't
just
go
on an
for black
aesthetic level.
boxes,
But
yeah.
like I've tried like either like word like outlines and stuff or like a drop shadow and stuff.
Yeah.
No matter whatever, depending on the show, there will always be times where literally I just can't read.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
can't read it.
I've had to settle. Normally I go for, if I can't have both, I'll go for outline over drop shadow most of the time.
Yeah.
Disney Plus, I've had to go for drop shadow, and even then it's still a
Yeah.
bit fucky.
It's always like the worst part is when you're going from like a live action thing to an animated thing. Because I remember I went from, this is back in like 2021, I know, because I was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at the time.
Yeah.
I watched that, and then like that later that night I wanted to watch Toy Story 1, and like I could read it just sort of fine on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., same settings, impossible on Toy Story.
Yeah. I have them set to yellow whenever I'm watching anime on Disney Plus just for readability.
Oh, I can't do yellow.
I
Yeah,
can do
same.
yellow.
Can't
I
do
really
yellow.
don't mind it. I think that's just because there's some, going back to the distributors conversations, who set their subtitles to yellow, so I'm just kind of used to it. All of the Gundam stuff's practically yellow subtitles.
It always looks so cheap to me.
Yeah. No. If I have a choice not to have it yellow, I will.
Yeah.
If I have the choice, I normally go white.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Disney Plus and watching
Sometimes
animation,
you just don't have the choice.
I just need to go yellow for readability, because Bleach is quite a... Okay, if you were to watch it, it's not minimalist, but compared to some other animation styles, it is quite minimalist, and so there's quite a lot of white coloring in certain scenes
Yeah.
and stuff. So, yeah. Even with a drop shadow or an outline, you're like, I can't see that. Even with yellow, it gets a bit dicey as well.
But you do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do. I need to catch up. Because Thousand Year Blood War's been back, and I think it's like 5 episodes in now, and I'm like, I need to get back
Can
to
I just say, out of context, every time you say 1,000 Year Blood War, I have to like double take, because that's a title right there.
It is.
Yeah.
They could have just called it Bleach 2022
No,
as like a continuation,
it's not as metal.
but no, they had to name it after the arc.
Edgy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
1,000 Year Blood War.
They had to name it after the arc.
For men. It's for men only.
Man, Bleach.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna
Drink
go drink
bleach.
bleach.
We made the same fucking
You
joke.
did.
Jinx.
I don't. Is there anything else that I can? Oh, high dive. Yeah, I have time.
I'm going into that quickly. Toilet. I'm sorry to do
okay.
this in the middle of the episode, but like,
I'll pause.
yeah,
Yeah. Welcome back. There. We
that was
took
a small
quick,
cut.
Yeah, quick bathroom break there. Okay,
Sorry.
I was gonna go off more about high dive, but
Ooh.
I have
Oh.
something.
You have
Oh.
a thing. You have a hat you're reaching for.
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
keep this for the next episodes that were gonna come out in December,
Oh,
but I'm
the mystery box.
impatient.
Oh no.
So I was gonna
Things
wrap
are
them,
being-
but
What are these?
here we go.
Gift.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dude,
Nice.
genuinely, I've been thinking about grabbing
That
this.
is so cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh shit, that's also cool.
That's
I got a book.
You got a book.
So Shaun has Ghost in the Shell, the 4K version,
Cool.
and I got Melina the short story collection for Perfect Blue. I was hunting down the full novel,
No, this is
but
great.
I found the short
Thank
story
you.
collections. I thought that might be more interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't play a DVD, so that's a
Yeah,
thing.
I had
Yeah.
to think like, what can I get you, because I know I can't get you like
Yeah,
physical home
yeah.
media.
Oh, dude. No. I feel like I've just got a birthday gift.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I'm gonna have to get you something soon.
Oh,
No,
shit.
it's fine.
Shit.
Don't worry about it. I just happened to come across them, and like I was like, oh, they're on sale. Sure. Fuck it.
Does this begin my journey to get Ghost in the Shell on every format? known to man?
That is your choice, my friend.
You will
I will-
start battling.
I will genuinely get the VHS if I can find it.
I think I paid like £10 for mine, so you probably get it for.
I just
around
need to
that.
get like the converter to get it connected to my TV soon.
I just haven't bothered with that, because I tried watching Ghost in the Shell in VHS, and it was legitimately quite painful.
I can handle
Yeah.
that. Anyway, thank you.
That's so nice.
Don't worry about
So
it.
nice,
So yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to chuck those little gifts in. Like I said, I was going to do it in the next recording session because those episodes would have been December,
And Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
But I was too impatient, and I don't think I could have
Aw.
sat with them.
Yeah. I appreciate getting it now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will put that on when I get home. Like I really will.
this will be next on my reading list.
Mm.
I just finished a book, as I had told you guys, so I was looking for something new. So this is great.
That's great.
Yeah, I messaged Shaun on Sunday actually, that Amazon had kind of fucked me over a little bit because I had ordered that.
Oh, that's what this was that.
It was Melina's book.
Oh.
I had
Still.
ordered your book from somewhere, and it was like, it'll be dispatched and delivered by this point.
Yeah.
It was not dispatched within like a week of ordering, and so I was like, I'm gonna cancel that.
Yeah.
And I found it for cheaper from somewhere else. It dispatched and came within a couple of days, and then Sunday I got an Amazon notification saying that the other copy had dispatched, and I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers. So I'm gonna end up with another copy of that, but I don't mind, I'll read it.
Yeah.
You got one for yourself now.
Yeah, I just have one for myself. So yeah,
High dive.
High Dive. So High Dive is Sentai's streaming service. So that's where most of their titles go. Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Oshinoko.
All that good shit.
All that good stuff, because I'm
An
out of...
Anime Lane favorite, Oshinoko.
Yeah. Which is still not fully out for listeners at the time of recording. Which is kind
But
of
it will
painful.
be
It will be by the
Yeah,
time this comes out.
You're not gonna know.
But yeah, it's a service.
It is, from what you've told me, it is
Yeah.
quite the service.
Every time it's mentioned, I can tell there's something heavy
There's an
weighing
aura.
on- Yeah.
Where do I start with it is the thing. It's got the lowest video quality of all streaming services I've ever used. If we compare just file sizes alone from Netflix and Crunchyroll, it's roughly, for a 23-minute episode of anime, 1 to 1.5 gigabytes per episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
High Dive, if you notice when you downloaded Oshinoko, is maybe like 200, 300
Yeah.
megabytes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I noticed. I was like, wow.
They,
Yeah, same.
They use like a quarter of the bit rate of other streaming services, which for a show like Oshinoko is absolutely fine. For more action orientated stuff, that's not fun.
Yeah, that's painful.
Or stuff that's like low lighting, so like darker shows, not fun. Banded to hell and
I was
back.
gonna say that's gonna be a lot of banding.
Yeah. Dan Machi on High Dive is just an absolutely fantastic experience. High action, and it's set in a dungeon with very little lighting. Phenomenal.
Hey, look at all those, look at all these like 5 pixels you can actually see.
Is that a wall?
And most of them is the black
shit,
background.
It's paused. Never mind. My TV just turned off. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. Then you have the fact that if you're watching a show, there is a continue watching. It just doesn't remember that you're watching it. Or it'll remember stuff that you've watched 3 years ago.
Oh, suddenly it's there. It's like, you want to continue? It's like, who are you?
I watched 10 seconds of an episode of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and it still remembers it, and that was 2020. I watched all of Oshinoko, and it never once remembered that I was watching
You don't want to
it.
watch that idol shit. You want to watch this.
You want to watch this stuff, right? Come on. You got 10 seconds in. Why not finish?
exactly.
Which also means when you go into a show's listing, it has seasonal drop-down menus, for one. And then you have to try and remember or find which episode you were watching. It's another service that uses pretty much any platform it's on's built-in subtitle engines, which can be hit or miss.
Yeah.
Oh no, in fact, no, sorry. It has its own inbuilt subtitle engine, which on the Fire Stick is awful because it just shows all the on-screen text in a big jumbled mess.
Oh, no.
Because it has positional subtitling.
Yeah.
Which is fine for the most part, but when there's a lot of on-screen text, like there is in Oshinoko at times,
Get lost.
I genuinely had no idea what was dialogue and what was on-screen text. I sent you a picture of that one night. It was impossible to read.
It was bad.
What else? I feel like there's more. There's Probably a lot more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it just doesn't load sometimes.
Well, you know, that's sort of,
Classic. Yeah.
that's kind of failed in its only mission
Yeah.
to play video.
Yeah. No. I mean the app.
Oh, the app itself.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
It'll just sit for maybe 5 minutes with like a.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I'll get there. I'll get there.
Give me a minute, Sonny.
And the fun thing about Sentai was that in 2022, last year, I think, they were bought over by AMC. And you would think that would mean an improvement.
Yeah. You'd think be like, let's fix some shit.
Yeah. Considering they're going to have to use it going forward
Yeah.
since they're not working with Crunchyroll anymore. This is their flagship thing to get seasonal content into people's eyes. They had arguably the biggest show of this year with Oshinoko. And it was on a terrible service like High Dive that's had no improvement.
You know what that tells me? That tells me there's something fundamentally broken about how it's set up.
Quite possibly. It was built, I think, in 2017 is when it launched, and I genuinely don't think it's changed since.
Oh God.
It's not fun to use.
Like, to be user friendly should be priority
Yeah.
number one. And just, you can fix stuff and all that, but no.
Oh yeah, player controls on your remote don't work.
Bruh.
You have to bring up the UI and use the directional and OK buttons to interact with either
Bruh.
pause or fast forward or whatever.
Dude, that's going back to PlayStation 2 DVD
Yeah.
playback.
Because I remember
And
watching
even
it.
then, you could use the controller.
Every time I'm watching it, I like go to pause an episode and I'll hit the fucking pause play button on my Fire Stick remote and nothing happens.
Yeah, because you're used to it.
Uh-huh.
You're just
yeah,
Yeah, you know, it's what it's there for.
yeah.
It's its one function.
yeah. So yeah, there we go. That's High Dive.
Oh my God.
The only saving
This
grace.
dive doesn't sound very high.
It's too high.
It's too high. The only upside to it is that if you buy it through because I used to have a Roku stick, you could buy the subscription through the Roku platform.
Yeah.
It's like $2.99 a month. It's like half the price
That's
it normally is if you buy it from the website, which means they're charging close to what Crunchyroll charge.
For a way
For-
worse service.
Yeah.
God.
So there we go. That's been a chaotic conversation
Fuck high dive.
about the anime industry? Question mark.
Yes.
And Monopoly
yes.
and other stuff we
Yeah.
talked
Yes.
about.
We talked about James Cameron a little bit.
Yeah. Hello, I'm
James Cameron.
He's James Cameron. I'm sticking to that voice.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to nap. Maybe James Cameron.
He will make an appearance. Who knows? It depends
Who
on how the day
knows?
goes.
Oh god, that's actually reminding me to put something on my questions for the next episode of Nap. Anyway,
Don't worry about it.
don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it.
Thank you for listening to this episode. You'll see the end screen here. You can interact with that, and you can go down into the bottom below and leave a comment and let us know whatever the fuck
What
you
this
thought of
was.
this. Yeah,
Give us a better title than the one we gave it.
yeah.
I dare you.
Because
Do
I
it.
don't know what I'm naming this yet. God,
Exactly.
fuck me! I've got to make a thumbnail for this.
Just get the Monopoly guy. No.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Hey, the meme thumbnails work.
I'll just put the Crunchyroll logo over the top of his face.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
High
it.
dive,
There's
high
the
dive.
thumbnail.
High dive.
High dive. Yeah.
That's much more fitting. No.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
Farewell.